everybody, my name is Alex. Today I'll talk about a story named Jason and the Golden Fleece, which is retold by Carl Zeff and illustrated by Stephen Cartwright. And it is published by Usborne Young Readers Reading. And now, today, I'll tell you all about this story. It's about the story about Jason and how he fought bravely to get the golden fleece from the island of Colchis. So now, let's begin. And here are the contents. So you can see for each chapter, I'll tell you each information that I know. So now, let's begin. First of all, is chapter 1, which is Wicked Uncle Peleus, because but Jason usually wants to be the throne, but actually of the island Iolcos, but his uncle Peleus has stolen his throne. One time, he was carrying a old lady across the river until one of his sandals had just washed away. The old woman said, "Don't worry, with one sandal, it will bring good luck." And the old woman just disappeared. How odd, but he kept his word. And soon, Jason go to the palace, and when Uncle Peleus saw him, he said "Oh no, this is trouble." And the gods have said to him that one man without one shoe means that it will steal his throne. Oh, that was the main problem. But actually, unfortunately, just because that was the main problem, it was another problem. But it has a cunning plan, that Uncle Peleus has a cunning plan, that he said that Jason has to go to the Golden Fleece, which is on a faraway place or island named Colchis. And there was the king named Aeetes. I'll tell you about it all later. And soon, Jason went to work right away. And Argus, a man named Argus, decided to build for Jason a ship, a large ship and fancy ship. And there was a woman named Aeetes, the goddess, and there was a magic branch tied to the ship to make it more safer. And soon they were off. Jason wondered what other people he would take for him. There was Orpheus, which played beautiful music, Atalanta, a beautiful huntress, and Hercules, the strongest man in the world. And soon, with a flutter of wings flying away everywhere, and soon, the North Wind's twin sons arrived, and they begged, "Please take us, Jason." And he said, "Good, everyone can come. It's fantastic." And soon they were off from the Argo. He named the ship the Argo, and he called the people the Argonauts. The Argonauts were traveling, and soon when they got to an island there was an island which has a bully, a very tall and a very large fat man named Amicus, and that bully said that he would fight with me or else. And soon there was one of the Argonauts get in, and that is Polydeuces. And the Polydeuces went there, and when the Amicus lunged, when Amicus lunged Polycus with his fat fists, he dodged and ducked and dodged and ducked all the time until it was many hours until dawn. And until that, he tilted and he moved to another place to make Amicus saw the sun shone directly into his eyes. And when it is directly into his eyes, he is a little bit hurt his eyes and he couldn't see anymore, and they traveled to safety. Amicus's soldiers were very angry, but they didn't chase up the Argon. There, that was the end of chapter 2, and let's go to chapter 3 about there was a man, and they traveled with a stormy night until they reached some rocks onto an island. But luckily, the ship was lucky and it didn't have any harm. Maybe because there was that magic branch, and the Argonauts were also fine too. And also, there was a man named Phineas, which was on like a house or something like that. And when Jason had entered the house, he had saw that all the harpies. You know, harpy with a Greek mythology that a female human had. That I was explaining a harpy, and a harpies often steal all the food from Phineas. That's the name. A funny name. And that man sounded tired. He said that he dared them to kill all the harpies from getting all of his food. So then he set up some food on the table, and the harpies came swooping down, but they were no match for the North twin sons. And soon they were all dead, and they traveled with a dove. You know, a dove, a type of bird. And in that type of bird is a dove, and did you know that also the Phineas can spot the future? And he said that the next danger is the clashing rocks. And soon, chapter 4, about the clashing rocks. Soon it was time to meet the clashing rocks, that clash, and like that. And soon, when he saw dark and dangerous about that clashing rocks, Jason and the Argonauts held up the dove, and the dove flew over. And just one feather fell off its tail, and its tail got stuck, and it escaped. And also, the magic branch, Jason rode quickly, and the magic branch did not hurt the ship at all. And soon they were off. Until they were off at the island Caucasus. Again, they were off at the island Caucasus with Aeetes waiting for him. Aeetes didn't want Jason for the magic fleece, the golden fleece. So Aeetes decided to get a cunning plan for Jason to have. And one time there was a girl named Medea on top of a rooftop house. And when Medea saw the words, at first it is to like make the I mean like the oxen to or like bulls to make into the field, and second is to sow dragon teeth. Who wants to sow dragon teeth, right? Well, it's right. And so that sounded impossible for Jason and the Argonauts, but he decided to go on. Medea thought and acted quickly. What if he was planning? And soon she decided to tell the goddess magic Hecate, that's the name, and Hecate said that get some herbs and make a potion with them, and soon, yeah, and Medea followed that rule. And when Medea followed the finish at dawn, it was ready. And when Jason had finally got the potion, he drank it. And soon, when Aeetes set up the plan, the bulls ran and ran and ran with its puffing and tufting all of the fire. They breathed fire and fire, but it didn't harm. It didn't harm all of just. It didn't what harm on, but it not harm Jason at all. And Jason thought in delight that the potion was working. And soon he held his breath and then get the horns off. And then the Argonauts held their breath too. And suddenly they snored and grunted and happily walked on. And the Argonauts shaking their heads in disbelief. And when Aeetes found out, second is to sow dragon teeth. And when he sowed dragon teeth all over the yard, it grew soldiers out of the ground. And the soldiers got attracted. And this meant real trouble. So he decided to, Jason decided to act quickly, and he decided to have a large boulder, and then he threw them so hard that it hit one of the soldiers and they are dead. And one soldier said, what was that? Oh, you are the main problem, right? So they are very, very angry with each other that they fight each other, and they came a vicious, bloody battle. And so nearly all of the soldiers were dead. At last, Jason jumped and killed the rest of the soldiers. Hurrah! And the Argonauts cheered and clapped. But then, unfortunately, Aeetes said that we just have to, we also have to fight the dragon to make the golden fleece. And he whispered to the warriors that kill and burn the Argo and all of the Argonauts and Jason. And when Medea overheard him, she panicked. What should she do? She had an idea. She hid the Argo and all of the Argonauts, and then they decided to fight it. And he sung, and Medea sing a song to the dragon. It was the biggest, a snake. It was the biggest snake in the world, big as a dragon, right? And so when Medea sing the song, lull baby, sleep, don't stay awake, and lull baby, just don't stay awake, and etc. And more of that. In that song, it made the snake asleep. And then when Jason got the golden fleece, he rushed home. But then, when Aedes kept up with him, and there was some small boats, it wasn't a match for the Argo, and the Argo was slower than all of the other smaller ships. The Argo was trapped. What will we do? Jason asked. We will have to hand the golden fleece to all of the Argonauts, he said. But, well, Medea have another plan. What about we kill our brother Abercertus, and soon Aeetes will give up, and then we'll be sad. And soon she decided to make it. It was her only chance to do, right? So she stabbed him and on the back and threw him at the sea. Aeetes ordered all of the warriors to fish him out. Aeetes was so sad that he didn't chase the ship Argo again, and soon the Argonauts and the Jason go back to the island of Iolcos, and soon they lived happily ever after. There was a big feast that lasted a month, and to celebrate the rejoining of the Argonauts and the celebration of Medea the queen and Jason the king. And they lived happily ever after. So did you enjoy that book? It was a very, very special book that I think we might never give up in something. We might never think that it was true that we should give up in something. So that's why we have a cunning plan or trick to make ourselves believe in everything. So that meant that determination can lead through everything, and hope you have that quote with you. Write it on a piece of paper, and that's for you. And tell your mommy for the next time, determination will lead to everything. Not just about teamwork, but determination. Maybe just ourselves brings love, and love brings unity, and unity brings peace, and peace brings no work, and work means that never give up in something. So that's how life is the only way. And that's how also that when we didn't give up in something, we might think that we are a true hero, and we might believe ourselves. So this is the end. Goodbye everybody, and thank you for listening.